कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर बनचारी यमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य उत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, द्वारका धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, मायापुर धाम की जय, गंगामय जमुनामय की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, निधाय की जय, कृष्ण बलराम की जय, ललिता विशाखा राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय, प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेशन बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय, निधाय और प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Where are our Vrindavan devotees or Vrindavan residents? Are they around? Where is everybody? Huh? Anyway, it's our mismanagement also. So, Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manohishtam Sthapitanena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Kadati Swatakantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Adhina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Bhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Tadhama Vrindavanam रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधुवर्गेण या कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमपुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्यमहाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्रादरो न परः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Here in the courtyard of Krishna Balaram Mandir this morning, of course, as today is some kind of special day, so it was announced this morning. It was the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada giving me sannyas. Right here, or right here. So then, I was also told that I will be talking of some memories of that day, or Hari Hari. So that, anyway, okay, so first of all, I'm going to read verse from Bhagavatam. It's 11th canto, chapter 23, text number 57. This is a verse, this is a sloka that Prabhupada had made me recite. This is a mantra, and in fact is a vow that sannyasis take on the occasion of the sannyas initiation. So, of course, there was not just myself, but there was Sridhar Das Brahmachari and Prithu Putra from Canada. But of course, we were together in Bombay, myself and Sridhar Maharaj. And there was Prithu Putra from France. So three of us were offered or awarded sannyas on this day. And then Prabhupada recited this. I don't have a clear memory. Maybe Akshayananda Swami Maharaj was asked to say this mantra, and then we repeated after him or no, Prabhupada said the mantra and we repeated. One of those things happened. The song of Avanti Brahman. This mantra is part of the song. Brahmin from Avantipur, which is present day Ujjain. Anyway, we cannot get into the whole history of and life of this Brahmin, what he had gone through. Lots of trials and tribulations, and he had come to conclusion that he should just renounce everything and surrender unto Sri Krishna Balarama ki. Avantipur also has Ujjain. Krishna Balaram did spend their school, Gurukul days. So this is that mantra. I will say it myself because you are not taking sannyas. No, I'm not giving you sannyas by getting you to repeat this mantra after me. So I will. Etam sasthaya paratmanishtam. It's a good chance that many of you know this mantra. Abhyasitam purvatamair maharshibhihi aham tarishyami durantaparam tamo mukundangri nishevayaiva. Translation and purport. I shall cross over. This Brahmin is from Avantipur is saying this I is him. I shall cross over the insurmountable ocean of nations by being firmly fixed in the service of the lotus feet of Krishna. This was approved by previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Lord, Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. It's a long purport, but I'm just going to read first paragraph and then we will talk. This verse is quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj in his Chaitanya Charitamrit Madhya Leela 3:6. Srila Prabhupada comments as follows. This purport is compiled by Prabhupada's followers. So they are quoting Prabhupada in the purport. The quote. In connection with this verse, Prabhupada is now speaking, or he has written this in Madhya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita. In connection with this verse, which is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11:23-57, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, just see the parampara. Prabhupada disciples are quoting Prabhupada, and Prabhupada says, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, and he says in that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there are 64 items required for rendering devotional service. Acceptance of symbolic marks of sannyas is a regulative principle. If one accepts sannyas order, his main business is to devote his life completely to the service of Mukunda, Krishna. If one does not completely devote his mind and body to the service of the Lord, he does not actually become a sannyasi. It is not simply a matter of changing dress. In Bhagavad-Gita 6:1, it is also stated, Anasritaha karma phalam karyam karma karoti yaha sasannyasi cha yogi cha. One who works devotedly for satisfaction of Krishna is a sannyasi. Dress is not sannyas, but the attitude of service to Krishna is sannyas. What Prabhupada said in the purport that we just read, Prabhupada had said that to me in person, personally, in Bombay. This anasritaha karma phalam karyam karma karoti sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. Yeah, with this I suppose I'm beginning the narration of a narrative. How I started thinking of sannyas. Baribo. Yeah, maybe. And time is ticking, and okay, so I approached Srila Prabhupada. Give me sannyas, give me sannyas. On the rooftop of one of those buildings in the back of Hare Krishna land. They do not exist now, they have been demolished, but there were buildings. And at the end of one darshan session, I approached Prabhupada. And I was 2.5 years in ISKCON, and I approached for sannyas. I was like maybe 24 years old. And Prabhupada just briefly said, wait. And then I was waiting for some time. Then Navayogendra Swami Maharaj also was awarded sannyas. And that happened right in front of me. In Radha Ras Bihari temple. And we were brahmacharis together in Hare Krishna land. And that kind of triggered my desire, stirred up. And then soon after that, Srila Prabhupada recommended Sridhar Das Brahmachari for sannyas. We were brahmacharis, colleagues, staying together, sharing we were roommates, We're preaching together. And when I heard that Sridhar is getting sannyas, Then I rushed to Prabhupada's quarter. I found him when he was just by himself, so that others may not interfere with my proposal. So I reminded Prabhupada that he wanted me to wait, so I had been waiting and waiting, not for very long. And so please give me sannyas also. But Prabhupada was, well, different things Prabhupada said to keep me waiting. Wait, that was Prabhupada's, not now, like that. And Prabhupada also quoted this verse, anasritaha karma phalam karyam karoti sa sannyasi. That person is a yogi, sannyasi, one who offers his karma phal, results of his activities. He offers that for the pleasure of Krishna. Sa sannyas, that person is sannyasi. So Prabhupada was trying to say, you're already sannyasi. You're doing that, you're already sannyasi. But that was not satisfying me. And no, I don't want to. Yeah, that was like a mood, One of my brother was awarded sannyas, or he was recommended for sannyas. And I was, me too, like a child crying for that. My brother had received some toys or this or that, me too. And then Prabhupada finally said, oh, you want to undergo the formality of sannyas? And then I said, yes, Prabhupada, I want to undergo the formality of sannyas. Then Prabhupada said, okay, go with Sridhar to Vrindavan. So then Prabhupada personally this was in Bombay, of course. Prabhupada traveled to Delhi and later on to Kurukshetra. Today is the 6th, right? 6th of December, that year also, 6th December. And Prabhupada was in Kurukshetra on the 1st of December. And we spent a few days there. Prabhupada was looking for a land for ISKCON Kurukshetra in Kurukshetra. And he was accompanied by Gopal Krishna Das Adhikari, he was not sannyasi. And Harikesh, Harishauri, especially Ambarish was there. Prabhupada was expecting maybe he will sponsor the temple construction in Kurukshetra. So completing his mission in Kurukshetra, Prabhupada returned to Vrindavan, and myself and Sridhar, we traveled by train to Vrindavan, and then it was 6th of December that year. There was going to be sannyas, besides sannyas initiations, the first and second initiations also were being conducted. A small number, maybe 10, 20 other devotees were getting Harinam Diksha, and some Brahmin Diksha. And I mean, total of 50 devotees were here. Total of 50 devotees were present. Not like it is half now full here, house full. That wasn't the case. And Prabhupada's asana was right there. Raise your hands, brahmacharis. No, yeah, right. Prabhupada's Vyasasana was right there. Was facing this way. And I should mention, just to prepare for sannyas initiation, we had, of course, our clothes ready. Three-piece suit. Sannyasis have 3 pieces, including this one and other 2. And we also had to get our dandas ready. And this is same dand. Monkeys are also interested. Oh, they are already vairagis. So we managed to make our dandas. Quite a dand from some of the bamboos of Vrindavan. These are early days. There used to be heavy duty dands. Now there are lighter or even folding dand and so many things. But we had original dand, heavy size. So Prabhupada first of all we had to change ourselves into sannyas attire. So we were asked to, we used this room, there's a room here, and there's another room that side. So 3 of us entered the quarters, little corner room. And soon we were out. No done yet. Looking like sannyasi, dressed like sannyasi. But we were not sannyasi yet. And then Prabhupada we approached Srila Prabhupada one by one. And this mantra was repeated. Etam sastaya paratmanishtam. And we repeated that mantra. And Prabhupada handed this dand to me, and I accepted dand with great pride. And offered obeisances, and this dand became my companion. If there's one entity that has stayed with me always for past 50 years, that is this dand. Well, I might come back to Vrindavan again, something more to say, but when we traveled back to Bombay, myself and Sridhar, let me say that. So after the yagya ceremony here, swaha, all that happened, and then 3 of us went to Prabhupada in his quarter, which is right behind Krishna Balaram temple. Have you seen the Prabhupada's quarters? Because we wanted to know, excuse me. What our names, any changes in our names, and when inquired, Prabhupada said, add Swami to your name. Nowadays, fancy, huh? Bhakti, that, bhakti, this, bhakti. Anyway, Prabhupada said, add Swami to your name. So we became Sridhar Das, Brahmachari became Sridhar Swami. And Prithuputra Swami and Lokanath Swami. And we wanted to know whether Prabhupada is going to send us to Africa or Siberia on a special mission. But to myself and Sridhar Maharaj, he said, go back to Bombay. Go back to Bombay. And then during that get together with Srila Prabhupada, he also said something, well, very significant. He said, all that he had to do is do manmana bhava madbhakto madhyazi mam namaskuru. He was explaining that verse. And if you did this sincerely, manmana, remember me and become my devotee. And he used the word without duplicity. Without duplicity. Don't be duplicitous. And then you will be very successful. So that was additional icing on the cake, or an additional instruction Prabhupada or advice Prabhupada gave us in that brief association we had with Prabhupada. Of course, Prabhupada had given talk. Sannyasis were addressed. 3 of us were addressed by Srila Prabhupada. And there's a whole talk, I think, today in our function hall. You will be hearing Prabhupada speaking what he spoke right here 50 years ago. Could be even around this time or maybe a little later, maybe 10 a.m. You will hear, but I have transcription also. Prabhupada said, this sannyas life means simply devoted to Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no other business. He said that to us. And he was explaining this Paratmanistham, that mantra, sannyas mantra. Chant Hare Krishna as many times. He's encouraging us to chant more. He said, for a sannyasi, you should increase chanting and hearing or studying. Then you will be fixed up. These are the words. Huh? These words, I'm sure they are still here. Huh? They're eternal sound bites. So maybe this courtyard is packed, surcharged with sounds like that. So that day's sounds are also always are still here. And Prabhupada said, and go on preaching. Preaching is also not very difficult. What is the difficulty? No? He always says, what is the difficulty? But he said that to us. What is the difficulty? There's no difficulty. Preaching. So he has practically shown, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking about. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also took sannyas, very early age, 24 years old only. I was 26 years old. Srila Prabhupada was kind of revolutionary. I mean, Prabhupada was giving sannyas to, I think, few of his sannyasi disciples were late teenage. Not even 20. Jayapadaka Maharaj, is that? 21. He was 21. But I think there are a few others. They were not even 20 years old. And Prabhupada was awarding them sannyas. This is revolutionary. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has practically shown by his activities how to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. And he gives order to everyone. He's kind of turning to others. I could turn to all of you here and repeat what Prabhupada said. And he gives order to everyone. Well, you have not heard the order yet, which I'm sure you know this order. Amara Gyai Guru Ayya Araya Desh Jare Dakho. You may not take sannyas, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was expecting that you will do the duty of sannyasi. You will act like a sannyasi. Preach like sannyasi, all of you. The boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen or brahmacharis, grahasthas, vanaprasthas, and of course sannyasis. Act like sannyasi. Others may not be like a grihe thako, vane thako, sada hari, bole dhako. Instructions are there like that. Whether you're a grahastha or a brahmachari sannyasi residing in the forest, grahastha residing in griha, the common activity, what is that? Grihe thako, vane thako, sada hari bole dhako, hari bole dhako. And the same thing, you also kiba vipra, kiba nyasi, shudra kene noy, jai Krishna tattveta, sai guru hoy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was expecting and Srila Prabhupada was repeating Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions and encouraging everyone to take up the duties of preaching. Anyway, you'll hear more when Prabhupada said, by executing order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will be glorified. Now he's addressing, say, three of us, the new sannyasis, brand new sannyasis, sitting right here with our dons. And he says, by executing the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will be glorified. And the country will be glorified and the whole world will benefit. Yeah, I wanted. So this done, I traveled with this done everywhere. Yeah, first of all, when we went back to Bombay, uh, we were promoted, myself and Sridhar, Swami Maharaj. I have fond memories of both of them, but you may or may not know that out of three of us, two of them, other two, Sridhar Maharaj and Prithuputra Maharaj, they already have gone back to Krishna or back to Srila Prabhupada. And I'm the third one in the pipeline, I'd say. Hari Hari. I miss them. I wish they were also here on this occasion. It would have been very nice, right? Three of us celebrating 50th anniversary of sannyas. So, yes, myself and Sridhar Maharaj, we were residing in Brahmachari ashram, but as we went back, we had a privilege of staying with Prabhupada. Prabhupada has one building on a one top floor. Prabhupada stayed, and he had half of the floor was with Prabhupada, and rest was for his secretaries and assistants. So we became residents of that quarter, and we were with Prabhupada now. I also approached Prabhupada saying that please allow me to go to Vrindavan where I could study your books deeply, because I will be getting microphone, right, all the time. And sannyasis, they have so many preaching opportunities. So, but Prabhupada said, no, he said, you stay here. You stay in Bombay, study in Bombay, preach in Bombay. There's a big shortage of manpower those days. And what to speak of Indian-bodied preachers or devotees. Hence, this temple was known as what? Angrez ka mandir. In fact, yeah. Prabhupada used to. This was not the tree. 50 years ago, there was another tree, another tamal tree. That tree has entered Nitya Leela of the Lord. And this was planted, I think this is only second tree, right? And not third one. Huh? Only, okay. So there's another tree that day. Anyway, I will not say a word. Prabhupada made me speak. There used to be a small gathering of visitors coming for darshan, and Prabhupada used to, in the chair, he used to sit underneath this tree, and then some of us, his disciples, and then visitors would also come and sit. And one day, I was asked, Prabhupada said, you speak today, you speak. So that day I told the visitors, why do you call this temple Angrez ka Mandir? Do you think there's Angrez ka Murti or Angrez deity here in this temple? Why do you call Angrez ka Mandir, Angrez temple, English temple? And like that I was. The trouble was that you are not joining, Indians are not joining. Indians were calling this as Angrez ka Mandir because most of the devotees, preachers, and all the followers of Prabhupada were Westerners. So when Indians would come and see, it's Angrez ka Mandir. Oh, everyone is Angrez here, or European, or American, Australian, or Canadian. So it's your fault, you're not joining. Join. So what a little short presentation I made. Prabhupada was very pleased with when he heard me. So one time, as we were residing with Prabhupada in his quarter, or next to his quarter in Mumbai, Prabhupada had noticed that I always, carried my dand everywhere. But Prabhupada asked me, why is Sridhar not carrying dand like you are doing? Why is he not carrying? So then that inspired me to carry my dand all the time and everywhere. During the flights also, I did a lot of traveling around the world. So every time entering the aeroplane with dand, holding dand like this, walking, people are all sitting in their chairs and they would see me walking with dand, stick. They would get scared. Am I going to beat them or they would say, oh, fishing rod. So sometimes I would travel overseas during summer season or fishing. Or maybe some musical instrument I'm carrying, veena or something. They were speculating, they would talk amongst each other. Sometimes, I think almost 95% of the time I succeeded, keeping dand next to me, next to where I would sit. But few times, the air hostesses were giving me a hard time and insisting that I should check this in, with the baggage, check this in. Put this into the belly of the aircraft. Or one time, the captain of the ship, the airplane, so it was a lady, she intervened, said, what's the matter? Oh, and I told her that they're not allowing me to carry this dand or keep this next to me. And she said, keep this next to me in the cockpit. So in the cockpit, where the captain. So there's a lady and my dand in there. And a few times I also lost my dand in America, and there's our Vrindavan Leela Mataji. See her somewhere? Okay. She managed to retrieve or find my dand, and she came running, holding my dand. Maharaj, I found your dand, I found it. Hari Hari. So, so you may not take officially or sannyas. Many are taking now also around the world, in India. But then you could assist the sannyasis, and that way you are part of the team. Otherwise also, I think the whole... But that Prabhupada already said, you don't have to... You preach, Chare dakho tyare kaho. And if you do this is a sannyas activity, is sannyas job of sannyasi preaching. So you may not, so an acceptance of sannyas is forbidden in this age of Kali. Or Matajis cannot take sannyas. But I think, but we all have to do the job of a sannyasi. Preaching is so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not sparing anyone. Sannyasi, no sannyasi, whatever you are. Chare dakho tyare kaho. Suno suno Haridas, suno Nityanand. Prati ghare giya. Nityanand, oh Haridas. Go to every home and karaho amar agya prakash. My instruction, please share my instructions with all of them. What are your instructions? Bolo Krishna, Bhaja Krishna, Kara Krishna, Siksha. So this instruction is for everyone. We're all expected. And there's an emergency in the world. The world is on fire. So when there's an emergency, then even every man, woman and child picks up gun, right? There's a emergency battles. Not only soldiers, formal soldiers, but others also are quickly given some crash course and sent on the battle. So like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and preaching is what? Preaching is fighting, Prabhupada. Preaching is fighting. Right here in this Prabhupada's quarter, Prabhupada was lying on the bed and he was feeling restless. I said, get me out of here. I want to leave this world while battling, while fighting with Maya, preaching. So that was a spirit and the mission of Gauranga, and that is the mission of all the Gaudiya Vaishnava. acharyas and especially Srila Prabhupada insisted, encouraged all of us to preach. And he would say, what is preaching? Book distribution is preaching. Book distribution is preaching. So these are Gita Jayanti marathon days. The initiation also, my initiation, sannyas initiation, took place during Gita Jayanti days. Gita Jayanti that year was on 14th of December, right? The sannyas was awarded, on the 6th of December, and then on 14th of December was Gita Jayanti Mahotsav in 1975 we're talking about. So let us do that kind of preaching, distribution of Prabhupada, and whatever else you could do to propagate and share this Krishna consciousness is welcome, would be highly appreciated. I encourage you all to not take sannyas, but yes, also take sannyas. Do the duty of sannyasi. You may not have dress of sannyas, so you may not undergo the formality of acceptance of sannyas, but our services are similar, common. Yeah? Kamyanam nyasam sannyasam. What is sannyas? Give up kam. Kamyanam nyasam sannyasam. In conclusion of Bhagavad-Gita, 18th chapter, that chapter begins with this statement of the Lord. And Lord defines sannyas. What is sannyas? Kamyanam nyasam. Give up kam. And regular calm, the lust that is there. But there's also mukti kami, siddhi kami. These are all kamanas. Mukti kami, siddhi kami. Kamyanam nyasam, give this up. So, I have said this a few times in the past, but I could quickly remind you all that if you do not take sannyas, in the sense, if you do not work on this kamyanam nyasam sannyasam, if you do not give up calm, there is no question of going back to Godhead and all that, or developing love for the Lord. Fully awakening of a love of Godhead would only happen when I will do, or you also will do, this kamyanam nyasam sannyasam. You understand? So in that sense, everyone has to take sannyas. And then you will be able to do this manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyazimam namaskuru. When we are free from all sorts of calm, followed by growth, and followed by lust, greed, and like that. Three more items, Shadripus are there. So you have that homework to do for each one of you. You may stay together, wife, husband, in a grahastha situation, but if you are not free from this business, kamyanam nyasam sannyasam, then the goal of chanting, goal of life, which is what? Krishna Prem. Pancham Purusharth is Prem, Prema Pamartho Maha. For that, we have to work on this. Really, I think you got the point. I don't have time now to get into the details. Please understand. This also kind of message. You have come from all over the world, all the way from Australia, here, there, everywhere. All over India. So this could be and should be one of the takeaways. Takeaway? What did you learn or during that festival? Or what have you come back with? Or is any resolution was passed? Or so this could be kamyanam nyasam sannyasam. It's short, a sutra kind of. Says kamyanam nyasam sannyasam. Sannyasam. So take that kind of sannyas. Are you ready? Thank you.
Especially Vrindavan local devotees and temple authority TMC members.
Lokanath Swami Maharaj ki Sri Bhagavad ki
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.